Welcome back to the Talk Podcast. In this episode, we're going to dive into how to measure sales conversations that build trust and what they mean for your business. If we've not met before, my name's Linda Reed-Enever. I'm an ideas, impact, and marketing strategist, and we're going to dive into this topic today, the trust factor. This topic actually came from a conversation inside one of the workshops that I was running recently. One of the people in the room said something along the lines to me like, Linda, I feel like I'm having lots of conversations, but not enough people are converting straight away. How do I know if my sales conversations are actually working?
Welcome to the Talk Podcast with ideas strategist Linda Reed-Enever. Talk is where we chat about ideas and inspiration you can use to market your business. Get ready for practical tips you can implement today with your host, Linda Reed-Enever.
Now, I get it. We would love that instant conversion. And I think that this is such an important question because we're always chasing the instant conversion and measuring success only by the immediate sale rather than looking at the long-term currency of trust. And so when I talk about the immediate sale, you might be doing it too. Did somebody buy? Did they sign up? Did they pay the invoice? Did it get paid? And yes, all of those things matter because we need them as part of the sales. But there is another metric that matters deeply in business, especially if you're in a relationship business, a service business, or a community business, or even in a course creation business as well. These are all important, and that is a metric of trust, that trust factor. Because if our sales conversations are building trust, even when someone is not ready to buy from us right now, we are building momentum for our business. You build familiarity with your people, you build confidence in the audience, you build connection. And honestly, trust is often the things that turns a maybe later into a future client or a referral along the way. I've had trust turn people into referrals that they weren't ready, but they knew people who were, and they started sending people my way. So let's break this conversation into 3 parts today. What trust actually looks like in the sales conversation, why trust matters so much in long-term business growth, and then some practical things that you can start doing to build more trust in your own conversations that you have within your daily business. Somewhere along the way, sales got very noisy, very tactical, and just a little bit weird. It became scripts. It became pushing people down funnels. It became pressure tactics, handling the objections, close harder, create urgency. Now, don't get me wrong. I love a good close, but people can feel when they are being processed instead of being supported. And one of the joys I have about running the business publications, we get to see software people examine things with us all the time. They jump on discovery calls and they're so nervous about making the sale before we've even left or we've explained what's going on within the business or the problem that we want to solve. They start pitching the offer straight away. And I'm sure you've been on the receiving end of this. You've hardly breathed and all of a sudden you're getting, we've got 6 modules here, a workbook, templates, bonus, support calls, blah, 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 steak knives. You guess it, it's coming at you. And honestly, that approach skips that most important part of trust building, listening. I said it again, listening. Trust starts when people feel heard, not sold to, but heard. And that's the first thing I really want you to take away from this episode. Strong sales conversations do not feel transactional, they feel human. Some of the best conversations I've had rarely have felt like sales conversations at all. They felt like a conversation with the right person, and that's exactly what it should be. Our conversations should be with the right person that we're going to help. They'll have a little bit of curiosity. We'll be listening to them. There was space and there was honesty in the conversation. And to me, curiosity is the indicator that matters that we're on the right track more than pressure ever will. And I'll buy because I'm curious about something more than I've been told I have to buy something. So now let's talk about what trust actually looks like in a conversation. Trust looks like asking better questions. It's not surface level questions to lead someone towards your offer. It's real questions that gets to their problem, their need. What is actually feeling difficult right now? What have you already tried? What is frustrating you the most? What does success actually look like for you? And what do you feel like you need the most support with? Those questions, get 1 or 2 of them into a call and you're already building trust. And then this is the important bit. We've actually got to listen to the answer. Not mentally preparing our pitch in the background while they're talking, actually listening. Grab that pen and paper out, take notes, hear the words that they're talking about because people are often telling you exactly what they need. They're telling you what they're scared of. They're telling you what they're overwhelmed by, and they are telling you where they are stuck. And then once you've listened and you've heard all that, you do one of the most powerful trust building things you can do. You can reflect back what you are hearing to them. They want to hear that you know where they're coming from. It sounds like you're overwhelmed. It sounds like you've tried a lot already. It sounds like you're actually looking for clarity, not more information. That reflection makes the person that you're talking to feel seen. And people move towards businesses where they feel seen, where they feel understood, and they feel empowered. Now, the other thing that trust looks like is honesty. And I think this one matters massively. Sometimes the fastest way to build trust is saying, I don't think this is actually the right fit for you. And I've done that before and I'll continue to do it again. I know that sounds like a backwards step in sales conversations, but if it's not right, let them know. Because people remember that honesty. They remember that, oh, they said that wasn't right for me, but I think it could be right for John. Or when they do, they come back to you and they say, oh, because you were honest, I'm ready to start now. Hey, sometimes they've got a bigger budget too. And that's amazing. I have absolutely had conversations where I've said, you don't need the bigger package yet, or I think there's a simpler place for you to start, or I think there's a better solution, or there's someone else that might be able to suit you better than we can or our project can. And you know what? When that happens, I know I've got someone who's going to trust me, to follow me, and engage with me. And if they are offended because I don't want to offer them the service because I don't think it's right, then they were never the right fit for us in the first place. But 90% of the time, we have someone who trusts us because they're no longer feeling like they're trapped in a sales process. They start feeling like we're looking at a genuine business conversation and we're going to help them find the solution that's right for them. And that may be us, it may be someone else. So now let's talk about why trust matters so much, because some of your best future clients will not buy in the first conversation they have or the first time they see you. And I really need you to hear that and listen to it and understand it. Some people need time on your email list, getting to know you. Some people need nurturing. Some people need to keep learning from you before they are ready. I see this constantly in my own marketing methods. People will sit quietly in my world for months, possibly even years before they're ready to purchase. And that's absolutely fine. They will listen to a podcast, they might read the blogs, watch the videos, attend a workshop, come to a networking event, or even read and reply to our newsletter. Then eventually when they're ready, when they're empowered because we've educated the market, not because we pressured them into it, they come to buy because the trust was built over time. And for me, this is where educational marketing and the marketing tree method became so powerful, because when someone's already spent time in my content ecosystem, the sales conversation changes completely. They know how I think or how you think in your world. They already understand the philosophy that we're talking about. They trust our approach to some degree and they're ready to convert. And this is why the marketing tree method talks about the different trees. Our content will nurture the relationship before the sales conversation even begins. So things like, if you look at it in your content tree, your podcast will do that. Your blogs will do that. Your videos will do that. The emails you have and every conversation you have, every piece of content you have becomes part of that trust building process. I think what we do in this journey of business, though, we forget to measure trust as signals, because not every successful conversation ends in immediate sale. So we go, oh, we're not going to measure that. It was a dud. We measure it, but we say it was a dud. Someone continuing to open your emails matters. Someone continuing to reply to your stories matters. Someone's coming back 6 months later matters. And someone referring another person to you matters, because they are trust metrics and they are long-term, put in the bank pieces of gold. And we need to value them as much as we value the sale. So to wrap up this episode of the Talk Podcast, let's give you some action steps. The first one is this: slow your sales conversations down. You do not need to rush to the offer. Spend time understanding the person in front of you. The second step is challenge yourself to ask better questions. Move away from the surface level discovery questions and actually get curious about the person and their challenges. Best one for me is, what have you tried before and did it work or what didn't work? Practice reflecting back what you hear. Help people feel understood, and then stop over explaining. We don't need to make it complicated. We are sometimes our worst enemy here. We talk ourselves out of sales because we keep adding more and more. Just take the breath and keep it simple. And the next one is be honest. If someone is not the right fit, say so. It's okay to say so. In fact, I encourage you to do that more. Long-term trust is worth more than a pressured sale. And finally, keep educating your audience before they're ready to buy, because trust is built long before the sales conversation actually happens. Your goal is not to convince everybody. Your goal is to connect with the right people and have genuine conversations that leave people feeling clearer, supported, calmer, respected, and understood. And then you are building something more than sustainable than a quick sale. You are building trust, and trust will grow your business. Thanks so much for joining me in this episode of Talk. I would love to know what trust you have seen built in a conversation you've had recently, and what helps you build trust in someone when you're looking to purchase.
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talk with Linda Reed-Enever. Make sure you subscribe via your favourite podcast app so you don't miss the next great episode. You can find more ideas and inspiration at enevergroup.com.au.